Huddle, Inside The Huddle with Sky Sports.
Yes, hello, welcome to the Wednesday edition of Inside The Huddle. We are still on Media Row in New Orleans, counting down to Super Bowl 59, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm joined again by Phoebe Schechter all week long. We're going to be with you all week and straight after the game. And we are joined right from the start of our show today by a Super Bowl champion. From Super Bowl 50, defensive tackle for the Denver Broncos, scored the first touchdown in that game, Malik Jackson, a rare defensive touchdown in the Super Bowl. Malik, thanks for joining us.
No, I appreciate you guys having me. I appreciate the platform. This is awesome.
No, we're so excited to have you. And I mean, my goodness, what you've achieved in your career is phenomenal. Just take us back immediately to that moment when you got that touchdown. Insane.
I mean, it was awesome. I was rushing and then saw Von Miller just get a great get off against Mike Rimmers, and he just did I think it was a double swipe, got the ball out, and I just see it, and me and D. Ware just fighting for it, and I just landed on him like, I didn't know what to do. That's why I'm just running around like a tough guy with the ball in my hands. I'm like, what do I do now?
So you had the ball in your hands. Mm-hmm. Is the ball now on a mantelpiece at home?
I wish. When I got the ball, I just got so overwhelmed. I'm going to chuck it. And so I just stood in the stand. And it's funny enough, my mom was like, I didn't know where she was. And she was like, I was like 4 rows over from where you threw it. So you almost threw it to us. And I didn't know that. So it would have been nice if she caught it, though.
Yeah.
You still got that footage. It's an incredible thing. And that was a really defense-led team, wasn't it? I know it's Peyton Manning's last Super Bowl, but you guys that year were really rolling on defense.
Yeah, we stepped up that year. It was a great team. GM Elway did a great job of putting the team together, and we came together. I think being able to have about 3 to 4 years together with all of us was really good. We went to Super Bowl 48. We won't talk about that one, but we learned a lot from that one, and I think that's why we were able to do so well and come together so much in Super Bowl 50.
I mean, I was going to ask you about that because we've got 2 teams here playing. We won't talk too much about them. Don't worry. I know we go keep it on you.
Let's go.
But, we've got 2 teams here who've been to a Super Bowl before. What are some of the things that, almost the intangibles or tangibles, that you think are so key to be successful deep into the playoffs?
Well, I think the reason why Kansas City keeps making it is because they understand what it means to go from the start of the season to February. They're used to it.
Right.
Their whole team understands what it takes, the time off, the time to get going. And they, although they keep winning, pretty much going, 16-1, I think is the length of a season. Most teams would probably take a few games to get started, but they just come out rolling. So I think they got a good formula. But I think Philly's been there too. They have a few guys that understand it. And Philly does a good job of keeping the older guys around. So I know Fletcher Cox is in there. I'm sure Kelsey's around talking to the guys. So I think these are going to be 2 good teams that are ready to go on Sunday, and should be a good game.
Malik, I know this is mostly a podcast, but people can watch as well. But the way you're wearing your Super Bowl ring is next level. I mean, we see NFL players with some jewelry, but that is the most. It's not even a humble brag.
I love it. I love it.
And I'm there for all of it. I mean, you earned it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tell us. Obviously, you went from the Broncos to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll talk about that in a second, and playing in London and seeing this international growth of the game. But what are you doing since retiring? Obviously, retirement can be a sudden, all of a sudden, the brakes go on your career.
100%.
So what are you working on now?
So when I first retired, I was just living life, trying to really just be, just kind of get some time back. Really being committed to a lot of time in football. I was like, let me get some time back. So I took some time off. And then I went plant-based. That's why I can't wear this on my finger anymore, because it's like just going to keep falling off. So, I eat protein now, though, so I'm back. I'm bulked up a little bit. But, yeah, retirement, no matter if you decide to leave or you get kicked out, it's tough for everybody. I think as a retired guy, when you're playing, you get everything, right? And you kind of take it for granted, being able to have a training room, being able to have coaches around you, being able to have doctors just walking in and be able to take care of your every need. And then you retire. And me at 32 sitting at home looking at insurance plans from the NFL, I'm just like, I have no idea what an HMO is, what a PPO is, what a copay is. And I realized that was a struggle and a reality for a lot of friends of mine, right? And I know we can go out there, and I knew doctors and stuff, but I was like, that's not the reality of everybody. So what I decided to do was make a healthcare concierge service called the Care League. And what we do essentially is give retired athletes the same type of access that they had in the NFL training room in retirement, so that they can take care of themselves, have access to physicians and specialists to start, because we all understand once you stop playing, it doesn't mean your body stops hurting, right? And so we need to be able to help them continue the services. And the NFL does do a great job of giving us benefits, but what we want to do is just help the guys be able to navigate the services and give them that same type of concierge service they had in the NFL.
I love that. I mean, because you're so right. We talk so much when you're playing in the NFL about the holistic approach to taking care of you, and then you almost just kind of get dropped a little bit. So do your services, you can go across the states, any player, anywhere. Is that how it works? How do they interact with you?
So any player, anywhere. So we're at thecareleague.org is our website, and I have Instagram, the Malik Jackson, or if you want to get on the Instagram of the Care League, Instagram as well. But yeah, you just sign up on the website, and essentially what we do is we want to give guys executive physicals and let them understand what your blood's going on, what's going on inside of you. And then, like I said, there's access to a doctor that we have online 24/7, a nurse practitioner. We also have a guy, we call him Old Head, right? Because in the NFL, when you come in as a rookie, you have that older guy that you get attached to that shows you the ropes. And so we think it's important to have a guy that's played 13 years, that's been retired for 15, can kind of tell these guys, hey, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do, right? Because it's a new experience for us when we get retired. So we just really want to help the guys and also give them just a triage line so they can call, and whatever they need, it's done. So
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is.
you.
Congratulations to you for
Appreciate
that.
it.
It's very,
Appreciate it.
very important work. You see it. You see players need that support afterwards. Let's get back to your career and obviously going on to Jacksonville. What did you make of playing games in London? I know you still go back to the UK quite a bit, don't you?
Yes, I just came back from the UK. I loved it. I went to Ghana for New Year's and then went up to the UK. Thank you to Shahid Khan. He gave us, me and my buddy, tickets to the Fulham game, which is an awesome experience. So I love London. I'm hoping to get a flat out there. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Did I say that right?
You nailed it.
I'll get it.
Absolutely.
Wow. So we're trying to get you to move over to London, basically, is what I hear here.
Yes.
What other have you followed any other sports? Like cricket is a big British sport.
Yeah.
I know it can always be a little bit hard to understand, but do you have a favorite football? Footballs and soccer.
But
team.
footballs, right?
But yeah.
I've seen cricket. I don't understand how they play for 24 hours. I'm like, that's insane. But
I like to explain cricket, by the way, to my American friends as a game that can take 5 days and still end in a tie.
Oh my God!
And that's how everyone just leaves. It doesn't bother with it.
I'm like, do you just?
You don't really do ties, do you?
Do they? No. Do the fans go to work and come back, or is it like?
Yeah, they'll take their sandwiches. They'll have their little lunchbox of sandwiches and sit there with their feet up, reading the paper, watching it going on in the background.
Hey man, I hear it's a really growing game in Pakistan, India, London, or excuse me, the UK. So who knows? I might have to get in there. But I'm a huge Premier League fan. I love watching it. I live in Los Angeles, so I wake up at 6 a.m., watch the games, really support. Like I said, Shahid Khan did great by me in Jacksonville, so I'm a huge Fulham fan. Got the jersey. I didn't wear it today, but I got the jersey at home.
Obviously, when you played in London as a player, that was at that time the only place international games were played. Yeah. Now we have Germany, we've had Brazil, obviously there'd been Mexico before, but now we're going to have in 2025, we're going to have Madrid in Spain, we're likely to have Dublin, Ireland. We've just had it announced that Australia is going to get a game in 2026 in Melbourne. I mean, there seems to be no limit to the growth the NFL's looking at internationally.
No, it's a beautiful thing. I think the world is starting to understand how beautiful the game of football is and what it can do for you. And I hope we're getting to the point where it's like European or the world soccer, where you have different countries and people are playing, and then we can have a World Cup of sorts, where people can kind of get together, see what nation is the best. I think that'd be awesome for the sport. Now,
I think I know which nation will be the best, to be fair.
I agree. But Japan did beat the U.S. in the Olympics or whatever. In tackle. I was like, what is going on here? I don't know. It must have been the sumo techniques. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think I just worry about the flight plan for these players. It's going to be a lot. A lot of these teams don't give the whole plan where it's first class, you're laying down. So some of those guys are in coach. You know what I mean? Struggling. But I think it's beautiful for the game. I'm happy the league is expanding. I'm glad all I had to do was go to London, but I'll watch it and I'll go support.
Well, you brought up the Olympics for a second. I don't know if you know, flag football is now an Olympic sport. You are also a girl dad.
Yes.
Would you ever be coaching your daughter to go play in the Olympics? What do you think?
I would, right? I mean, whatever she wants to do, right? It's funny being an athlete and then watching her go out there. She's an ice skater. Or was an ice skater, and when just watching her compete and practice and be so tough on herself, I was like, this is cool. It's like watching myself. Now she does gymnastics and stuff. So, whatever she wants to do, I'm just support her and let her know she can do anything she wants, and I'm just happy to be there and watch her.
Malik, last one. As we look ahead to the Eagles and the Chiefs, very few people get to do what you did.
Yeah.
Run out of a tunnel on Super Bowl Sunday. Just tell us what that feeling is going to be like for those players, what it was like for you, that moment when they release you and you can run out there in front of the eyes of the world.
It's amazing. It's really surreal. it's like you take a second just to, you're in the tunnel, man. You're in the tunnel, it's black, and then you just see fans and screaming and pyro, and it's like, wow, it's real. Like, I'm here, and that's when all the realization of what you've been doing the whole year, the week of preparation, the week of sacrifice, and you just understand it's one more game.
Yeah.
And it's very overwhelming. And it's great, when I'm sitting at home and I'm doing my little pass rushes as I walk down the hall, I hear about the fans cheering for me. That's really a moment I go back to. So It's a true blessing to be able to be a part of a Super Bowl and win one, and just be a legend forever.
The only thing you probably do is wake up screaming in the middle of the night, the football, the football.
I got the quarterback. Oh, shoot.
But it's fine. You scored. They took the ball away from you. Well, you took it away from yourself.
Yeah,
but they can't take that touchdown away from you.
Hey, one fan got a great souvenir of that game. So I did the NFL justice and brought some more fans to the game. So
and you are doing great work.
I appreciate that.
Great work.
Thank you, guys.
Very important work, and we wish you the best with that.
I appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick break on Inside the Huddle. We are very pleased now to be joined by a Super Bowl champion, formerly of the New England Patriots, Malcolm Butler. Thank you for joining us here on Inside the Huddle.
Hey, man, thank you for having me.
I'm just going to tell you a quick story. I said to you I was going to set you up with a story. So I was working on the sidelines in Arizona for Sky Sports, the interception against the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, what a play. Tell us about that first, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the kind of background for me personally. But that was just... The second it happened, I knew I was witnessing NFL history.
First of all, I was a grinder for the New England Patriots. Going against Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski, going against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I always just prepared. I didn't think I was gonna play in the game.
Yeah.
But once I got my opportunity, I earned that opportunity to play in the game. So, during the game, I made a few plays, and then a play when I tipped the ball up to Curse, and he caught the ball.
He catches it anyway,
And I'm like, if we lose, it's my fault.
Wow.
But once I got back, I didn't think I'd have another opportunity.
Right.
But I said, if I get back in this game, it's on.
Yes.
And I made a play.
To that point, you said you didn't think you were going to play, so I'll apologize in advance. They come to me live. They're coming to me after you've made the interception, and it's in my ear. They're going 10, 9, 8. We're coming to you, and I'll fully admit, I was looking at the roster. I was like, who the heck is Malcolm Butler?
Oh,
and you announced yourself on the stage, and that's what the Super Bowl can do, because now your name will forever be linked with this great game, won't it?
Oh, I most definitely knew I did something special. When Mr. Kraft came to me and said, "What's your name?"
Oh, did he?
Oh my gosh.
Brilliant.
That is brilliant. I mean, I think that you look at the documentary, the Dynasty one. I mean, that really, I think, brought a lot of attention to you as well in terms of people getting to know you. But a lot of people don't realize, people who play your position, how mentally challenging it is. I would say it's one of the hardest positions to play in American football. How did you bring yourself back up to strength in those moments to be able to make a play like that?
Like I just said, I felt like if we lost that game, it was my fault.
Okay.
Even though I made a great effort to tip the ball and the guy still caught it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You gotta have the it factor, and you gotta want it.
Right.
You gotta want it, and you got to forget things. Wide receivers gonna catch balls on you.
Right.
You're gonna make bad plays. We're gonna make bad decisions in life. You just gotta keep rolling and keep making plays and making plays and making plays, and that big play will come sooner or later.
Because of the work you'd done that week, to expect to play like that, when the whole world was expecting a run, everyone in the world was expecting a run from Marshawn Lynch, but maybe not you. You guys had prepped for that, hadn't you? You've been well prepared for that moment by Bill Belichick.
Well, first of all, if I was Pete Carroll, I love you, Pete.
Give the ball to
I love you,
know.
Marshawn. But I'm running it. I'm running the football.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm running it. But I think that was a nice play call.
Yeah, you liked it.
I love it. So, if they run the ball, a quarterback not making that tackle, right?
Right,
They're right, yeah.
I'm not a D lineman.
right.
I'm a cornerback. I'm not a linebacker. if they throw a toss, I can set the edge and let my guys come
Come fill,
me.
yep.
But I said, if they throw this ball, it's on.
I love it.
And it was on.
That's incredible. I mean, what was going through your mind as you caught that ball? I mean, that just showed up in history, you know, that just showed up the other day as a memory, and that image of you right there. I mean, I don't think anyone will ever forget where they were when they watched that
And
play.
Sherman's face as well.
And Sherman, yeah.
It was all part of it.
He from Mississippi.
Did you keep the ball?
Man, no, I didn't.
Oh, no.
I asked Mr. Crab, can I get the ball? He said, I'll put it in the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Hey, Tom looked after you, though, didn't he?
Yep.
Tom looked after you after the game.
Hey, look. So that ball was coming so fast. You know, life comes fast.
Yeah.
10 years came fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, like, the ball was coming so fast, I'm like, should I catch it like this or?
I love all these thought processes.
I had to treat it like a baby and catch it soft.
Yes.
Yep, put it on the pad a little bit and there you go.
Amazing stuff. What was it like? We just talked to Malik Jackson about this. Very few people get to do what you did, and that's to run out of a tunnel on Super Bowl Sunday. What are those Eagles and Chiefs going to be feeling like? I know they've been there. Some of them have been there, but there'll be guys for the first time. What is that moment like?
Well, I'll tell you this. You know, I played in 3 Super Bowls. Just treat it like a regular game. Treat it like a regular game. Some guys not going to do that.
No.
But, like, I'll tell you this. Bill Belichick say, stay away from the media. Don't be going out doing this gig and that gig and listening to people hype you up and all that. Focus on the game. Because after this game and you make a mistake or you're not focused, you're not getting another chance.
No.
So you just got to be mentally prepared.
Right.
No matter if it's your first time, third time. Like Tom Brady. Like, he don't care. Like.
Did he treat each one like it was a new game and or a normal game?
If you can find him.
You didn't get there?
He might be in the room drawing a play up right now.
Oh, is that what so he was locked away, was he?
You wouldn't see him. You would not see that man.
See, we're learning all the time.
I was a spring chicken back then.
Right.
Yeah, I think he had a handicap sign then. Yeah, that man was studying, man. He was trying to do the best he had to do for the team.
Always doing his homework.
Incredible.
Malcolm, we thank you for joining us. It was a privilege to watch live, and it's been great to talk to you about it here on Inside the Huddle. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
All right, we're going to take
much.
another quick break. Welcome back to Inside the Huddle then. Phoebe, there's lots going on. We've been busy since we last spoke to everybody, including going to a media party on Tuesday night. Well, you went for a lot longer than I did.
I was going to say, does it count if you only went for 20 minutes?
I went.
You did.
It's
That's
the first
true.
media party I've been to in about 14 years, and within 20 minutes I realised why I hadn't been to one in 14 years. I'm starting to sound like I've got social anxiety about this Super Bowl. But there's too many people. There were like 5,000 people there.
Yes.
All I got was a spring roll the size of my thumbnail. And now it was look, they laid on a great show, but it's just not for me. So I was like that, you know that meme where the Grandpa Simpson comes in and goes
then
straight
right
back out? That
Yep,
was me.
That was you. I know, because I didn't even see you.
You said, "Where are you?" And I said, "On my way home."
I know.
You don't just
How did
arrive.
this even happen? You just abandoned me. But you're right. You need to have more than like bite size, because it's a bit rude, isn't it? If you go
Yeah.
up there and say, "Give me 5 little
Well,
bite
that's the
pieces."
thing. I thought I can't take 10 of them, and everything was basically led by my stomach, and I was led all the way back home.
Oh,
So,
no.
But did you enjoy it?
You know, I had a really nice time, and it was really great to be able to be around the team. Like, we don't very often get times to be
Right.
with our Sky Sports team.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's a good. I should have thought
You
that through.
Friends, right?
Sorry.
Look at this man. So that was really great. There were tons of amazing bands. There was a 610 Stampede, which is about 50 gentlemen that all look like they're straight out of dodgeball dancing.
Brilliant.
I mean, it was like a mob dance. It was great.
See, I lived all through your social media, and I could do it all from
Well,
the comfort
perfect.
of
You
my
know what?
hotel room.
You didn't need to come
I
then.
didn't need to be there.
Uninvited.
On Wednesday morning, we saw Andy Reid, the Chiefs head coach. I interviewed him this morning, and then you got to have a chat with him afterwards as we were backstage.
did.
He's an all-time great, and he is one of the NFL's good guys. And it was just a 4 or 5 minute chat, but it was an insight into why this team is good year after year. He's consistent, he's brilliant, and it was just a nice time to catch up with him.
He's such a wonderful human being, and he's someone that, through all the fame, the big red clones out there,
right.
the success, he's such a humble man,
yes.
and he makes you feel seen in
right.
a way. Like, he always gives you his full attention, and he always makes you feel like he cares about you, and I think that's a really challenging thing to do.
Yeah, we finished the interview, and I thought, well, he's got so little time. It's Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
So I was just like, thanks, coach. And then he stopped, and he was like, and how are you doing? I was like, I didn't really know what to. I was like, I'm good, thanks.
With a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yes, coach.
So I was like, it was really nice. And we listened to Patrick Mahomes as well. I thought there was an interesting part of Mahomes. He was asked about his confidence on the field and if he had any insecurities off it. And what I loved about it was he said, I have no insecurities on the football field at all. Yeah. I'm so confident. And then he said off the field, he said, people might make fun of a few things about me.
Yeah.
A little dig at the Raiders.
Yes.
And he said, but I'm confident off the field as well. I mean, this is just a guy, again, who just has no worries about how people perceive him, and quite rightly.
No, and he lets his play speak for itself, ultimately. It was interesting. I mean, he is such a consummate professional. Yeah. The way that he answers questions, and he's so methodical, and he just knows exactly what to say. And as a leader, he's talking about his O-lineman. He's talking about Travis Kelce. Like, you would never know if he was arguing with anybody because of the way that he just presents his team in such a positive light.
Andy Reid I asked him about all the close finishes, and he said, all the things that they do, they're physical, they execute, they're in the right mental mindset, but he also said that football bounces our way sometimes as well. Like, sometimes they just got to have a little bit of luck. They've had that a couple of times, but it's a cliche, but you make your own luck if you're a good team.
You do. I mean, there's no way that it would be just luck to see that they're back here again attacking that three-peat. That doesn't just happen because of luck. That happens because of you've done the right things. It's always that conversation. If you do the right things, you will end up with a positive outcome. So it's not, hey, we're here to win. If all of these line up properly, then winning's the outcome. Right.
I listened to Nick Sirianni today and asked him a question about Saquon Barkley, and I loved he said, I could take up the rest of this press conference talking about Saquon Barkley and never get to him what he does on the field. It was all about off it. And I wanted to read this quote to you from Nick Sirianni, the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, because this, I think, is quite interesting from a coaching aspect, and you being a former coach. He said, I don't have new coaching points for the players. He said, I don't save something up for the Super Bowl. So he said, then we just have to go back to the truths of football. He called them the truths of football.
I like that.
And he said their truths are tough, detailed, and together. And I like the fact that he fully admitted we're not holding stuff back in terms of reinventing the wheel in Super Bowl week.
I mean, that's such a great way to kind of lay it out, right? Because there's that conversation, and we talked to Ndamukong Suh about it earlier. Do you alter who you are?
Right.
Or do you stick to the game plan of what got you there?
The danger is if you do, isn't it?
Precisely that. And so the fact that he's saying we're going to be exactly who we've been this whole time, but fundamentals at the end of the day, what are the things that lead the wrong way? Turnovers, protect the football, taking care of the football in terms of not throwing interceptions, things like that. Those are what they're going to be built on, and that's how they're going to be successful in this game.
Let's talk about a little bit of international news. So just moments before we started recording on Wednesday, the NFL announced the first regular season game will be played in Australia, Melbourne, at the MCG in 2026. It's a 100,000 seat stadium. It's an iconic stadium in the state of Victoria. The home team will be the Los Angeles Rams. And Peter O'Reilly, who's the head of international for the NFL, said it's likely to be week 1. Wow. I also asked him a question, and he said, really, nothing's off the table for the NFL internationally anymore. This is going to be fantastic to see another. You always talk about the local flavour that's got put on these games, and now we're off to Australia.
I can't believe it. Sky Sports, make sure that we're going, though.
Well, when I said we're off to Australia,
like, we are going. Okay,
we can only hope.
Yeah. No, but I mean, this is just incredible. Think about, because of the journey from Australia to the States, how many people have never seen a real life American football game? imagine what that must feel like. I actually think about this when we're in some of these media appearances.
Yeah.
You can see the nerves of people just seeing the Mahomes, the Reeds up
Right.
there, and what a massive deal it is just to ask a question.
Yeah.
Now imagine you have the.
Certainly certainly for some of them.
I could not do what you do. You were just like this, water off a duck's back. But genuinely, now you've got an American football game, an NFL game, the stars of the show
Right.
in your backyard. This is humongous.
We are far enough into the week that I can't remember what I said 3 minutes ago. Did I mention that the Rams were the home team or not?
No.
Oh, good.
Let
So
the
the
people
Los
know.
Angeles Rams are the designated home team, opponent to be determined. But, it's just, again, I don't think the NFL is going to slow down at all. They're just going to keep this train rolling to as many different places as they possibly can.
I agree, and the international home markets is phenomenal, right?
Right.
You've got the Rams who have Australia as an international home market. They've been doing really great work on the ground for a couple years now. An NFL office there. I mean, you're so right. Nothing is off limits, and that almost falls in line. A different league, the NFL's motto, because really, the bigger you dream, the crazier the dream is, the more they want to make it happen.
It's kind of been a theme of this week with stuff we've been talking about. Charlie Smith dreamed that he could make it into the NFL.
Yeah.
We're talking about a pro flag league. We're talking about games in Australia. I mean, there is so much positivity leading up to this Super Bowl. We've also got, of course, earlier this week we did our Secret Superstars. So I think this is a game filled with stars. We talked about this earlier in the week. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, Saquon Barkley. I mean, on and on you could go. But there are going to be players that aren't always talked about who are going to have an impact in this game. So your secret superstar for today is?
Well, I'm going to go with the Chiefs on this one,
Okay.
and I'm going to go Drew Tranquil.
Yeah.
He's been doing a phenomenal job. I mean, playing over 72% of the snaps. Also, as a run blocker, he is top 5 in terms of his run blocking.
Right.
And then open field tackles and assists, he's number 1. And these are the key metrics you're going to need against a Saquon Barkley. And you know that Steve Spagnuolo loves to just whip something up. So I'm excited to see where they move him around as a little puzzle piece.
Fantastic. I'm going to go the other side. I'm going to go for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Nolan Smith.
Ooh.
So I think that's a name that we're starting to hear more and more. So he's had 4 sacks in the playoffs, at least 1 sack in each of the 3 playoff games. And you know I love a stat.
I do. I love it.
So there's never been a player in NFL history who's had a sack in 4 playoff games in the same series. So I think Nolan Smith could be a guy, especially with the Chiefs. They've had some pass protection issues.
Yep.
They'll all be looking at the middle of the line. I think that's where Nolan Smith benefits.
I love that. And it's just a player, because at this time of year, you have so much footage on everybody,
Right.
but you can't always account for somebody. And so that ability to kind of mix around, show one thing, do another, something that this Vic Fangio defense is so quality at doing.
While you're in an agreeable mood.
You mean because I'm nicer than yesterday?
Yeah, mean
I'm
Phoebe yesterday.
sorry.
Had you been
No
drinking?
one fed me. No one fed me.
Is that what it was? Hungry Phoebe?
I had a smoothie and
Wow.
like the hanger. I'm like one of those
I
Snickers
mean, I liked
commercials.
it. It was funny, but I just.
I don't know if producer Jacko liked
no,
it that
I know
much.
you were on
sorry.
form. I think you were on form. No, I liked it. I think it was spicy. So let's see if you're in an agreeable mood now.
Okay.
We're going to do more meaningful or meaningless stats.
Okay.
So I've got 2 for you. You're going to tell me if they're on par, meaningful, or if they're meaningless.
Okay.
So, teams wearing white jerseys. Why are you laughing? I haven't even finished.
It's very serious.
Yes,
It's
come on.
serious.
Teams wearing white jerseys have won 16 of the last 20 Super Bowls, and Kansas City wore white 2 years ago when they played the Eagles. Is that meaningful or meaningless?
I mean, I'm going to have to go. I mean, if Jay Bell was here, he would say meaningful. Because look good,
He
feel
likes
good.
the feel.
He
Yeah,
loves
right.
it. He loves
exactly.
it. And the irony is for those that can't see, there's a massive picture of Mahomes right in front of us in a white Super Bowl jersey where they obviously won. So
This is you just stalling for time.
it's for me, it's meaningless. But I do agree. Look good, feel good, play good.
Or, what about, and I don't even know if this is scientific fact or not, what about if flashes of white are easier for a quarterback to see?
You know what? That sounds right. We always,
That's not true
I
at
mean,
all. It's absolutely, I just made, literally
Is
just
that like
made.
the alligators who like to eat the marshmallows because they're white? That's the thing. That's why you give them because they're colorblind. So you give them marshmallows.
What is that?
That's Swamp Tour Monday. That's all.
Wait.
I'll just flash the color white.
Oh, so that's the only thing they can see?
Yeah, so it brings their attention because it's white and it floats.
Does it have to be a marshmallow then?
Well, marshmallows are white.
Okay, well, I'm pink.
I don't know. We don't do that in the US, really.
Do you not?
It's gone. No,
right, I feel like we've gone off track.
I'm obviously still hungry.
I know.
I stole somebody's
I've got
pretzel.
a final food question for you at the end,
good,
so
good.
I'm just going to go double all the way back to food at the end.
Perfect.
All right, so that's meaningless. What about this one? This is the first playoff game in NFL history where both quarterbacks come in with more than 200 pass attempts without an interception. So I'll give you the numbers. Mahomes has gone 288 passes. His last interception was Buffalo, November the 17th. Jalen Hurts, 209 passes, November the 10th at Dallas. Now, that was a lot I had to read. If that's not meaningful.
That is meaningful. That is meaningful. You've got two quarterbacks that protect and take care of the football and are good decision makers.
Also, then, isn't there beyond that as well? If you've been so good at keeping the ball, if one of those quarterbacks throws an interception early, that you're almost like, oh my goodness, there's a kind of psychological to that as well.
There could be, but honestly, you look at both these quarterbacks, they are stone cold.
Right.
So I think the stat is meaningful, but they are absolutely a team that can bounce back for that. And both these teams have terrific defenses to get them right back into position. So I don't think that they'll think about it that way. And if anything, it just gives them more faith in their defense.
Right. So meaningful, but not that meaningful.
I think it's important. I do
well,
think
turnovers
it's
are, aren't they? I mean,
important.
we saw that in the divisional round, didn't we? Every team that won didn't turn the ball over.
And that's how you're going to be successful in these games. It's always about who makes the fewest mistakes.
Right.
That's a really big mistake, which could change field position. You don't want either team to gain those sorts of advantages.
Let's finish off then with the media party. Obviously, I didn't see all the food that was on offer. We know Feed Phoebes is a thing.
Oof.
What was your favorite, and what I had to steer clear of? There was a lot of shrimp. So I could. That was everywhere where I could have got in line and got food was either fish or alligator.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any of those, and I just left.
You know
what was your favorite?
First off, there was also a real life alligator there, which was very interesting, and snakes. Didn't eat them, don't worry.
I did see the snakes.
But genuinely, there were so many great choices. Cajun shrimp pasta. I'm a big seafood person.
Right.
And we're in New Orleans, so you've got to have that. There was actually a crab meat grilled cheese.
Okay.
There was, fried chicken rolls. There were beignets. There was all the good stuff you're not supposed to have. So we're going to have to go to Cafe du Monde and have some more beignets as well together.
Very nice. I'm going to try that. I can do that. That's like a donut, right?
Exactly. Basically, with some powdered sugar.
All right. We're going to have one of those. If not by the time we next speak to you, certainly before Super Bowl Sunday, we're going to have one of those. So we're going to wrap up now here on this edition. We'll be back tomorrow with more as we count down to Super Bowl 59, the Chiefs and the Eagles from the Superdome.